Clashing over a multi-billion-dollar military contract, Amazon is now accusing directly President Trump of bias when it came to awarding a $10 billion military contract to its rival Microsoft. Now, in a filing made today, the company is alleging that the president exerted, quote, improper pressure on the Pentagon to keep the contract, keep the deal from going to Amazon. And, of course, that's headed by the founder and political enemy of President Trump, Jeff Bezos. Now, before the deal was announced, Amazon had been considered the favorite to win what's known as the Jedi contract. Joining us now is the Center for Digital Government's senior fellow, Morgan Wright. Thank you for coming in, Morgan. So does Amazon have a case?
They potentially do. But, David, you know, after you and I talked last time I did that phone interview, we talked about this when it first came out. I sat and I thought, and I've talked to some other people, but look, everybody knew President Trump had a bias. Everybody knew he didn't like Jeff Bezos. I tend to think is that all the reviewers, all the people involved in the Pentagon spent hours, weeks, days dotting their I's, crossing their T's, making sure that by the time this got through, they knew it was going to be protested, so they did everything to make sure it wasn't. In the end, I still think Microsoft will win, but I think it's going to be a long, hard slog. But at the end of the day, I don't think what President Trump said or did is going to affect the decision, because Microsoft was clearly qualified to win the bid. They've got a lot of large customers. They've done this, so it's not like this is somebody's first time at the plate. They've got some pretty significant wins. So I think at the end of the day, Microsoft will prevail.
Well, you know, we know the president has pressured publicly a lot of companies, Ford, General Motors, Harley-Davidson, even Apple. He has explicitly tweeted either Amazon or Jeff Bezos 40-plus times since coming to office. Is there, for example, a FOIA request that adversaries of the president might file to get to the bottom of just what was the thinking that came about to give this contract to Microsoft and not Amazon?
Oh, absolutely. And somewhere in some government lawyer office is probably already a FOIA request to see what are the emails between all the contracting officials on the Pentagon. Did they have improper contact with anybody in the administration? Was there an email sent that said, look, here's what the president wants? So I'm sure as part of the protest, not only could Amazon do it, but other parties could also file all the Freedom of Information Act requests and say, we want to see all the documentation of the conversation. So I think these folks know that. They've been through it, but I don't think it's going to hold water.
And Morgan, this is Gary Kaltbaum. For me, the question is, because we don't know how long this is going to take, what's going to come out. Is it proper for the President of the United States to come out and literally pick winners and losers out loud on government contracts like this? Have we seen this before in the past?
You know, I've been involved in a lot of big government contracts, billion-dollar-plus ones, and like that. We've had people set the stage to say, look, we're looking for innovation, we're looking for things, but clearly this is kind of uncharted territory for a lot of the contracting officers, the evaluation committee and the criteria. Again, at the end of the day, I think people could say they were influenced. It would be, undue command influence. But, I would have preferred had he not weighed in, because it would have made the process cleaner, but I still think there would have been a protest either way.
I want to just tag on to what Jonathan said about the fact that it could be, we need details and we need what is going on. Right. Amazon did release a statement saying that there's been behind-the-scenes attacks, so they must have some type of proof going forward. But I guess my question to you is a little bit more political, the fact that this has come out just on the heels of this impeachment trial. Could this fulfill the whole narrative that maybe Democrats are saying that this is abuse of power of the president, and here's another avenue that he's taking advantage of it?
In this town, I wouldn't put anything past anybody in terms of the timing. I'm always suspect about timing. I don't believe in coincidence. The fact that this was filed and announced on this day might be leveraging the fact that these hearings are going on. There's a lot of coverage, and this might get swept up in the narrative to be talked a part of it. So let me tell you, I am not shocked by the fact that politics are involved in procurement. It's been that way for 100 years.
Well, the problem is that these contracts are so large. I mean, we just have too big of a government right now, right, Jonathan? And I think, the thing that bothers me, the thing that bothers me about this is Amazon feels like that they're entitled to this contract, and I hate that entitlement mentality.
You know, and you actually bring up a good point, too, Stephen. It's the fact is that they might be able to do it and maybe better than Microsoft. But at the end of the day, I think the government has to consider we need to de-risk the current situation. We cannot allow Amazon to become a monopoly inside the federal government so that wherever Amazon decides to go, the government has to go. That's the cart before the horse. It should be driven by requirements. what the analysts need, what the war fighters need, what our operators need, and not driven by, oh, well, we don't build that today and maybe we'll think about it tomorrow. So I think what they've done is they've created some healthy competition internally to make sure that there's always that people understand they've got to be hungry for the business. If it's given to you, you just don't appreciate it.
Morgan, I really hope that our panel remembers that quote when we talk about Amazon, that it should not become a monopoly. But I'm just going to continue on with Jeff Bezos over the weekend warning big tech on working with the government. Listen to his soundbite.
If big tech is going to turn their backs on the Department of Defense, this country is in trouble. That just can't happen. And so we have to, and it's the senior leadership's team to say to people, look, I understand these are emotional issues. That's okay, and we don't have to agree on everything, but this is how we're going to do it. We are going to support the Department of Defense. This country is important.
So you got Bezos from Amazon, and it sounds like he may be going after Google here. Its employees protested working with the government. So do you feel like that's the case, or am I just making an assumption?
Look, I have written about this in The Hill before. I've talked about this many times on Fox Business. I think it is highly disloyal to the United States of America for you to say we're not going to support you on Project Maven, which is the one that Google backed out on. We're not going to help you with artificial intelligence. Yet we stand up an artificial intelligence center in China, knowing that there is civil military fusion to know that anything that's developed there will be shared with the Chinese military. I think it's disingenuous, and Google should be ashamed for what they did. The employees don't run the company. The company needs to, the adults need to start running these companies again. And you're right, Jeff Bezos is right about this. If big tech backs out, we lose our added advantage because China, Russia, North Korea, Iran, these adversaries are never going away, and unless we stay on the cutting edge of technology, we'll lose our edge.
Very quickly, Adam Schiff's use of phone data without a court order, what do you think? Is that legal?
The phone data can be gotten with a subpoena. It doesn't require, it's not like an intercept, which requires the Title III, lawful order. But I tell you, it's very problematic when you start involving journalists in it. I mean, remember Fox News went through that with James Rosen at that time. Do you really want to be calling out journalists? I don't think so.
Morgan Wright, great to see you, my friend. Thank you for coming in. Please come back soon.